Hello and welcome back. We just saw a amazing game from Secret and VP. Didn't really know exactly how that game was going to go. It seemed like Secret had it, going as late as possible with the Naga Siren, but the Death Prophet kind of kept him in it for a while. G being the raid boss that he was, I think that was the wording that LD used. What did you think about the game, Lemmy?
I think the big thing towards the end of the game was it felt like the Radiant team had all the lockdown they needed or wanted. They just can't kill anybody fast enough. We saw team fights where the entire Secret team was tanking, 2 Exorcism with the Refresher, and they're like, yeah, nobody's dying. A large part was due to the fact that you had some Grave Venge swaps. The Chronosphere was, I want to say, fairly ineffective because Pilot Dice got the Ags on the Earth Spirit, so whoever he Chrono is just like, boom, you're rock, you can't hit him anymore. So it just lacked damage. So I do want to kind of preface this panel by a tweet that I saw was by Effing Mad. Yeah. He said that he's pretty sure that's not how Void is supposed to be played in this patch. So to me, let's dive in that, right?
Okay,
because that's kind of the big weird thing in this game was Silent's way of carry Void.
The way he built it is the way I've seen in when I was watching the Chinese qualifiers for Shanghai. That's how their offlane voids were building it.
Right, so you have a second source of damage.
Yeah, you have a second source of damage usually. Well, I mean, Lil became that second source of damage because Lil started farming.
Right.
But it kind of took him a while to get there. And I think the problem so just to go back just a little bit, in the Chinese version, you get Iron Talon, you go in the off lane. If you have a hard time, you can farm the side camp.
Sure.
You get Vlad's first so you can help your team, and you get Ags. And then you get the Blink so you can initiate with the Blink, and then you can Time Walk away while getting rid of the damage. And the initiation range of Time Walk is actually pretty small. It's not that long anymore, so you really need the Blink to initiate to the fullest of your potential. And that's the off lane build. But Silent went on it in this. They put him in safe lane and then off lane, but he was still the one. They didn't have another source of damage besides the Death Prophet, like you said, until Lil got farmed. But the problem was it took him too long for Lil to get farmed, and by that time, the Naga Siren was already online.
Okay, so we did see a lot of good Chronos.
Yes.
Was it the Void, the quote-unquote weird build that didn't work? Or was it the Pilot Die Earth Spirit that made it not work? Because I felt like, he's got MKB towards the end. He's a Void, he's bashing hit pretty hard. So imagine a scenario where there wasn't an Earth Spirit. Would the build have worked, you think?
I don't know. I think the issue is more that they needed to make that decision to farm Lil a little earlier. If they were going to make that decision to have Silent go full utility Void, they should have made that decision and stuck with it and had Lil started farming even earlier because they, against the lineup that Secret had, they had to break it at that 35-40 minute mark where they were really starting to win fights and getting into the base. They needed to be able to win fights then.
Yeah, I think the Lina, we saw a lot of fights where she dropped a Laguna Blade and did a ton of damage, but then there wasn't the physical damage that we see out of the two position out of Luna a lot of times. So, I mean, I can't say that Secret won that game very convincingly because there was a lot of nail-biting moments, but is this a Naga patch?
I think it can be. I think you had a good point earlier when you say at the beginning of any patch when people are trying to figure things out, 4 Protect 1 just works.
Yeah.
It's one of the oldest.
It's like a default strat.
Yeah, it's like a default strat. It's one of the older strats in Dota. A lot of the times your really hard carries can just get away with stuff because people are picking really gritty supports a lot of the time because they're trying to figure out what works. And I think a Naga strat will just work if you can just survive long enough. And this is a game, and this is a patch where you can farm a lot of the map. There's even more camps to farm for Naga, so it just works out for her. She's even got more area. So it's it works both ways, right? She has more camps to farm, and she also allows her team to have more paces to farm as well. Because usually when you have a Naga, you have issues with having another core because you just vacuum clean up the entire map. And if you have more camps to farm, that means that some of your other carries or some of your other cores have more camps to farm that they normally wouldn't have at all.
That's true.
So it allows a Naga to work in less than an all-in strat, I guess. And that's I think it works for Naga. I don't think it's a crazy Naga patch. I don't think she's first pick material. But I think in a strat that they had there where they last picked her because they didn't think they had enough late game potential, that it works.
Although to be fair, I think it was you that said that they wanted the last pick Terror Blade.
I think they did.
Yeah, and then it was taken away from her. So
right.
Another interesting statistic provided by Nahaz, I believe. Was that when you go past 50 minutes in this patch, guess who has the highest win rate on Heroes?
It might be Earth Spirit. Is it Earth Spirit? Yeah.
Either number 1 or number 2.
He's up there.
The other hero being Vengeful Spirit.
Really?
Because we saw the Axe avenge towards the end. I mean, sure.
It's good, actually.
It's very good defensively. And then once you kill her, like against a team that already lacked damage, do you want to focus on Delusion?
You're right. It actually scales really well, too. The minus damage, percent damage
well, not
really
you have a 10-second swap. So like you still are swapping people after you die.
Yeah.
And, Secret had both of those late game monsters, I guess.
Insane. Yeah, you have really good late game supports, right? It just ended up working really well with the Naga.
Yeah.
Earth Spirit's really good late just because of his ability to save stuff. And when he gets Ags, his Ags is amazing.
Yes.
You can save your enemies.
Two different ways
your
now.
allies, not your enemies.
Different ways now. You could just put them in stone and you could pull.
It's really good for defending high ground too, because you can someone goes to push, you turn them to stone, kick them back, and you can get them all the way into the fountain.
Did we actually see a lot of that? Because I thought he was just using the stone just for defensive purposes.
It seems like he was,
and I think it was better like that.
I think it is better like that, but if the opportunity presents itself, it's good to have the option.
Okay.
Because we saw back in the qualifiers, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Jerax that turned kicked his gyrocopter all the way into his fountain, or they got him close to the fountain and then the Venge swapped him into the fountain. So it's a pretty cool little late game strat. I like it.
All right, so VP versus Secret is in the book. That's the first game of the Group 2. What do we got coming up next?
Yeah, let's go take a look at the schedule for a while. I think that game actually had a lot to play into the group, because I think whoever wins that game has a pretty good road to winning the group outright.
Well, we're not really...
It's the first game. But if you want to win the group, that's the game you have to win.
Okay, I see what you're saying with that one.
It's the two favorites in the group playing each other.
All right, so coming up in this stream, we got three alliance games in a row. We got Alliance versus Na'Vi, Alliance versus Fnatic, and then Alliance versus Team Spirit.
Okay.
So let's start with, well, actually, two of those games. We got Na'Vi and Spirit. They're not doing well.
No, they're not. I actually expected Spirit to do a lot better. I felt like Spirit was going to be riding off the high of their really good qualifier play, and they had they're really good in this patch, I thought. They had it kind of figured out. They had a really good aggressive playstyle that I thought would do well against some of these teams.
You think that's because the Caliber teams are playing against versus the Caliber team?
I thought the EU qualifier was stacked.
It is stacked. Well, you have Liquid, but then just a big drop-off after Liquid, right?
I mean, I guess. I thought some of those Tier 2 teams were a little bit better than this is kind of showing. Maybe Spirit are just having issues adjusting to the super high level of play they're seeing now, I guess. I think
Spirit is having issue with their Spirits. Because the two games that they got trashed on was MMY roaming around, or was it Fear roaming around on Earth Spirits, and it was just okay, here's a kill, here's a kill. The thing that I felt like about Earth Spirit is that he felt like what Bane was a patch ago, where if you have a weak lane, Bane walks in there and just fixes it for you.
Right.
And what Earth Spirit does now is same thing. He fixes it for you, but he does it in a way where it's not passive harassing. He just kills stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So that might be even better. So I think Earth Spirit might be the hero to look out for, even in the EU scene, which wasn't a hero.
Yeah, exactly. Jerax was really the only one that really liked it, and that's why I'm looking forward to seeing how Liquid plays and how people deal with the Earth Spirit against Liquid, because I think it's definitely one of Jerax's best heroes.
Okay, so let's focus on the match at hand. The Alliance versus
El Clasico, man.
Well, is it the El Clasico? I heard.
I mean, Navi's not playing that well right now.
Alliance, we don't know how well they'll play. Let's paint the scenario for them a bit. They've been in the airport for a bit. They've been stuck around. They've been in a plane. They've been off a plane. I don't know where they're at. Maybe still in the Alliance of Visa. Maybe they're in the building.
I don't have high hopes for them. I was a person in the first place that thought that their invite to Shanghai was a bit questionable.
They won WCA.
I don't think WCA should matter that much, because I think I talked about this before, so I don't want to go over it too much. But when the playing conditions are that bad, the patch is that fresh, it's just not that good of an indicator of how good someone is.
Okay.
That being said, though, Alliance's playstyle is just really good this patch. Both Furion and Syllabear, Lone Druid are really strong right now.
I like how you say when their playstyle's good, it's like the heroes are buffed.
Well, they did. I mean, Misery made the tweet that's saying, well, if you buff all their heroes, you might as well invite them, right? And I largely agree with that. Their entire playstyle got buffed. It's kind of it's retribution for the fact that they got all of their heroes nerfed after TI3, and they had that year-long period where it was awful. But we'll see. I think a lot of their heroes are very strong right now. Even as we saw, Naga Siren's doing really well. And the hero I thought Naga Siren would have the hardest time against is Death Prophet, because of the percent-based scaling of the Spirit Siphon. And she still dealt with it pretty okay.
We saw that one team fight where God was tanking the whole team.
Yeah.
He was being chased and he has siphons off, but Yeah, I agree. Just going back to Alliance a bit, they've been picking things like Bristleback plus the Chakra Magic of Keeper. That's a little nice combo.
Some cheesy stuff, yeah.
And obviously, from the last patch, S4 is still doing well with the Bat Rider and things like that. So I feel like Alliance coming into this tournament has a lot of weapons.
Yeah, Bat Rider's really strong.
You're still not sold that they're going to make it out of the group here?
I'm not, just because I have to be convinced for Alliance. I think over the last 2 years, there's been a lot of times where we've all spammed Alliances back at some point,
sure.
and they've yet to really complete that.
Okay.
WCA's win was part of that, but like I said before, it's difficult to draw a whole lot from that tournament, I feel. So they just have a lot to prove for me.
Okay.
I'm not sold on them not being good. I'm just not sold on them being good.
Okay, my question a little bit kind of to I guess, go more deeper into that.
Right.
Let's say Alliance is not back to TI3 form, because it's hard to be back at TI3.
Well, I mean, TI3, they're the best team in the world.
Exactly. So, but are they good enough to be the top 3 team in this group? You're looking at Na'Vi as 0-2. You're looking at Spirit as 0-2.
They could be.
They only need to be better than one team to make it top 3, and
right.
I don't think it's that hard to...
You also, as Alliance, you have to not slip up against the team. You have to not lose to a Na'Vi and not lose to a Spirit. And I think a team like Spirit could slip up and beat them.
Okay, so I wasn't watching the Na'Vi games on Stream 1. How did they look?
Rough.
Obviously,
they
went 0-2.
They look a little lost in their drafts a little bit. Art style is, again, like kind of... He's going all out to make sure his team gets kills and gets farmed, and he's almost like too sacrificial. He's still dying too much. He's still getting caught out in weird positions. Their drafts sometimes don't make a ton of sense, even though they're kind of disruptive in their drafts and they're making teams adjust to their picks. Like they played a Death Prophet and it had an Oracle, a Tusk, and an Omni Knight as a last pick. It was kind of overkill for how defensive the Death Prophet already was. But they're not looking great. They're putting Dindy in really tough positions where he has to play perfect games. Seneco's still playing really well, and I think if they pick him Oracle and these big playmaking supports, it still does well. But they also have a really young offlaner that's still trying to figure out how his role in the team. I think they're still a little bit away from being the Na'Vi of old. So.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned the picks, because we got that up for you. The picks for Alliance versus Na'Vi is
let's take a look.
Yeah, let's go into the match. Alliance, who knows what they're picking? Because the WCA games are, like you said, not exactly the strongest indication of how this patch is going to work out. Maybe we're going to get someone else to join us, Parker.
Mr. Parker.
10 seconds remaining.
All right,
look. You were playing against Alliance, and you banned Furion and Syllabear.
I mean, we saw Syllabear being first banned against a lot of the other teams as well. I think against EG in particular.
I think a lot of the American teams really like Lone Druid. I think you'll see it banned out against Complexity. I think DC was playing it a lot in the qualifiers, and EG also likes to play it a lot. It's a very good hero.
All right, Parker, how you been?
Howdy, been busy casting, and saw a few of the Na'Vi games early today. I definitely agree with Brian. It's been a bit shaky for them, especially one game where it felt like they really should have won and kind of gave away a big lead. So they've got to be somewhat under a lot of pressure right now. The first game was their opener against EG, which I think they didn't seem too disappointed by. They had a meal afterwards, so eating lunch, so joking around, but it was the second loss where they seemed really affected by it. So Alliance sticking with what's been a bit of a trend of the tournament, pull out the Death Prophet once again to go with the Spirit Breaker.
I think it's good. I think Death Prophet's extremely strong. And Na'Vi with the chin pickup. Okay. Is this an art style chin?
Yes, art style plays that chin. He does it pretty well. It's a bit more aggressive and active than a lot of the other chins you see. I mean, it's art style. You need to when you've got Wisp. I mean, Wisp is not... I feel like Wisp and Chen together is two very low presence heroes for the first kind of 5-10 minutes of the game.
I feel like Alliance has a lot of options here in the carry they pick. They could pick something really high mobility, and just get away with it. I just don't know who. Because Loda... I mean, the only high mobility carry I know that Loda can play is Storm Spirit, and that is not a very good hero at the moment. So I do miss the old days of Loda carry Storm Spirit, though.
Yeah, I don't think Storm Spirit is a hero right now.
He's not. He's probably one of the worst at the moment. I think Sumail is really the only one that could pull it off.
Is Blitz still spamming Storm Spirit in his pub games?
I think he to him he says he still feels like the same hero with farm, but.
Well, the thing is, his farm rate is much slower because of the changes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in pubs, you weren't really having people stacking for you like crazy.
Okay, that's right.
So it's still. his big benefit was back in the last patch when you could just stack for him like crazy and he would just be able to farm it. He would lose mid, but he'd be Radiant, so he'd just go farm stacks, no problem.
But I think even a big part of it in pubs was like you'd hit level 7, 8, 9 and you're ready to like TP and gank another lane, or even just you grab a rune, you go for a kill. But because all your mana cost is so much higher, it's a lot harder to do that these days with the new Storm Spirit. So.
All right, let's not talk about Storm.
I
don't think Storm Spirit deserves this much talk about him. Dead hero.
So Na'Vi just picking up their 2 supports to start things off, and we'll see what kind of cores they have in mind to go with. Io Chen, you've got to think aggressive. Tiny's already been banned out back in the first stage, so WinteR loves playing heroes like Ember Spirit. Sven really comes to mind with the Io as a good partner. And Sven's good against Death Prophet too.
I feel that Death Prophet is very good against Ember, because the way that she kind of works in the game, you get the Yule so you can remove the Flame Guard. Your Siphon does not care about Flame Guard because the Zeal's pure damage goes through it. You have a big AoE silence, so if he is ever clipped by it, you're in trouble. And the way that you siege with the Death Prophet is you send the Death Prophet up top in front, and his team just backs up, so your Sleight of Fist can't really hit too much.
Ake Crystal Maiden.
Is this an Ake Crystal Maiden? Yeah, it probably is.
It's surely.
It's definitely Dooney Spirit Breaker. For sure.
It's great against the Chen creeps.
Yeah.
It is good against the Chen creeps. You're right. I think it's interesting. It's not the. I mean, this isn't the best Aura team. The Aura doesn't help him out that much. With the Doom now, it kind of helps.
I think the Aura helps him out a lot.
It helps everybody, I think.
Spirit Breaker has a ton of mana problems.
You're
like,
right.
He does.
You're right. You're
like
right.
being able to get that with no stat items, you only have like mana for 1 charge at level 1.
That's true.
I think Spirit Breaker benefits a lot. I think all 3 of these heroes.
Yo,
are great.
whatever
Yeah,
happened
with
to
Doom,
Doom, man? That hero used to be the bomb.
Doom is still getting picked a little bit.
It's a 4th pick too.
Yeah, I think he's still good. And then the Sven. This is the Death Prophet counter, I think.
Death Prophet counter, Wisp partner, and just a really suitable hero for WinteR who like kind of snowball off.
You think so? I mean, obviously the armor is very good
The
against
move speed gets you away from the Siphon too.
Yes. At the same time, though, I feel like the way that Death Prophet is built, you could kite Sven once his BKB is getting down low. So I feel like that first 2-3 uses of BKB has to decide a lot.
I think the most important part about the Sven is the burst damage, where like Blink Dagger is core these days on Sven, especially against the Death Prophet. So you blink on top and then you just try and blow up the Death Prophet like instantly, take out the exorcism from the fight and not allow yourself to get kited because of that. I guess the instant response is like you nether strike the Sven, but like an Io Sven blinking on top of a Death Prophet could dispel instant death.
No. You know, for Alliance, I wouldn't hate a safe lane Void. I think Void, the time dilation, works really well against Queen. She blinks in if you're in range for a time dilation. She's just kind of stuck there for a while.
Well, thank God, no more Naga.
No Naga.
Woo!
I mean, I really like the off lane Void more than I like the safe lane Void, but I don't think it's a terrible pickup against Sven, who's usually trying to keep his war cry up, and Quap's blink and Scream. A lot of low cooldown abilities there.
So are we thinking something more of a magical carry for Alliance? You
I mean,
got the.
Do you guys not think there's a chance Loda plays the Doom?
Loda could play the Doom.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, Loda is one of the few people that would really play the one position Doom back in the day.
Remaining.
So,
I don't know.
I mean, he would build it like
Bulldog
crazy. But Bulldog plays a lot of Doom
Yeah,
too.
he loves playing Doom.
It's much more recent. Bulldog is the much more recent Doom player for Alliance. Loda used to play like the crazy aura carry Doom, where he would get like Vlad Shivas.
I mean, is it too crazy to say that you could have Spiritberg offlane Doom jungle, and you pick another core?
That's super greedy against a Quap.
That's
Chen.
I think unlikely. I think if they're running Doom safe lane, it's to put someone like Bulldog on the offlane Spirit Breaker, or. But I think you're right, Lumi. That most likely it's a Bulldog Doom.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They don't need like a hard. They don't need like a hard carry type pick for the safe lane for Loda. I don't feel like a Wraith King type hero that can just be like more of a secondary core to the Death Prophet, because of how well Death Prophet just scales and the tempo you play it with the Death Prophet. I feel like you need something in the safe lane that isn't too greedy, unless you're going Naga Sign, which works because it's like the complete other extreme.
Sure. How about something like a Clinks? Not exactly great
Clinks-
against the plus armors.
Good against Chin though.
Yeah, that's precisely. You eat the Chen creeps and it's always 1400 HP, so it's
Right.
like a big boost. You could go for the Orchid against the Quab and pressure him that way. It's a hero that Loda's been played before, so.
Yeah. And you don't know what Navi's off lane's going to be, so it kind of works against all Gyro. Okay, that's just a safe pick. I mean, it's not good against Warcry, but it's okay. I think it's just safe. Gyro's always good. It's just a standard.
I feel like Gyro is actually very weak against Chen. Early game-wise, you don't have a way to defend yourself, so he's very reliant on the Crystal Maiden to kind of bail him out.
That's true. I don't think he's particularly good against Chen. I was saying it's not very good against Warcry.
I think he's weak against both. Like the flak damage gets completely negated by Warcry. The mech plus Hand of God negates like cooldown damage and all that. But it's a strong laning hero. It's a loader hero.
Maybe it's like, hey, we don't know what's going on. Let's pick Gyro.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think
it
it's
wins
just
the
safe.
lane. It can then farm ancient stacks. It can keep like up with the Sven as far as the farm rate goes. I think, despite how some of the spells are somewhat countered by what Na'Vi have, I think it's still a solid-ish pick.
Right.
You know, speaking of Doom, is Doom even that good in a game that you have both Wisp relocate and Chen send back? Like, is Doom ever gonna do anything?
Well, maybe not.
You gotta you get one of them and they get sent back.
You just gotta get Infernal Blade to Sven.
I guess you always guarantee a 5v4,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Well, if you Doom somebody. So, hey, welcome back to the casting panel. I mean, before we send it back to the casters, who's got the better draft? The Beastmaster was the final.
I like
pick.
the Beastmaster pick.
I like the Beastmaster
I'm sold
pick
on
too.
that.
I think Alliance will win, but I like Navi's draft better.
Okay.
Na'Vi, they got this.
All right.
I reckon.
So we have.
What's your opinion?
I thought the Cheever thing is not to have an opinion.
No, have an opinion. I want your opinion.
That's the Sheever thing.
Yeah.
You're not Sheever.
That's not
I'm
the
a
Lumi thing.
replacement
Be your own
for Sheever.
person.
No, you're gonna.
Are you saying I'm not beautiful and pretty?
Exactly what I'm saying. Please be Lumi.
Damn. All right. I think Alliance has a better draft.
You're handsome.
And I think they
You're
will
handsome.
win. Thank you. Because Crystal Maiden is not exactly a common hero, and Crystal Maiden is amazing against Chen, amazing against Sven, and amazing against jungle creeps.
Amazing against Sven.
Yeah, man.
We'll talk about that one later.
Nova. Let's throw it to the casters and see what they think.
Indeed, thank you very much, Lumi. It's myself, ODPixel, and of course, young Master Winter that's going to be taking you through El Clasico, Alliance versus Na'Vi. Now, let's get ourselves into the game. I believe the game is underway. Let's not waste any more time looking at our ugly mugs. And let's get ourselves into the pretty boys indeed. Alliance and Na'Vi. Alliance already smoked up, ready to go Winter. These are the lads that favour the first pick, Death Prophet. And is that the hero that's going to win you games on this patch?
I mean, the hero is proven really strong, like from the last game. But he still has his weakness, like the long cooldown of the ultimate. You need to play around the fact that when Death Prophet's ultimate is down, you have to try and get an objective, get Roshan, push towers, make a gang, place wards, and whatnot. But the problem is when he reaches the point where he has Octarine Call, then the window of the opportunity where the Death Prophet ultimate is down becomes really slim.
And obviously some interesting kind of harks back to the past here. The fact that Ake coming out on the Crystal Maiden. Now, why the Crystal Maiden in a game like this?
I think the main purpose was a reaction towards the Chen. They wanted a support that can protect the lanes because you can frostbite the creeps for a long duration. And obviously, it sort of makes the laning phase of the Death Prophet much stronger because you have so much mana to spam. Oh, they're going to force him to get
He's got to be
blinked.
careful, yeah. Straight up with the Spirit Siphon, but they blink himself away. EGM is there with the charge. Can they try and close this gap? It's going to be a hard one to do so, and Dendy... Yeah, it was always going to be the harder target that if Alliance were going to find someone, we're going to have trouble trying to catch him out. So he'll be fine. Still 20 seconds here till the rune spawns. And, I mean, yeah, we heard the panel's opinions, but in your expert opinion, Winter, who's got the better drafter?
I think I like Alliance heroes more. Like I feel like because of the fact that they have so many cores, so it's much more on Navi's pressure that they need to execute early, they need to win the early phase. It's always like that for Navi. Their drafts always focuses a lot on winning the early phase, and if they don't, then they'll fall off very hard with their heroes. And right now their early lanes with the supports are Whis and Chen. It's not that easy to combine the two supports to make a gang happen. It's all on the Chen to get a good creep, and you make the smoke gang alone. Like sometimes when you see teams, they run the Chen type of lineup, they have a Rubik, they have or a bench on a support that can actually make the first move. So it's going to be tough for the Chen this game, I feel. And I think the panel even mentioned that the Doom pick was also good against the Chen because you can devour the creeps when he's coming to gank you. So it's very difficult for the Chen to make ganks this game.
Top lane EGM just joining onto Lodo. Will charge the board, take the gold. Easy gold there for the Gyrocopter. And I mean, the mid lane matchup, something that I want to talk about. So you've got Dendy back on his signature hero, the Quap, and S4 on the hero that's had its time in its past, but now a lot of teams prioritizing this pick. How does the kind of the Death Prophet versus Queen of Pain matchup go down? And is it something that Dendy's going to have the upper hand with that Queen of Pain?
He needs to rely on the Chen to help him though. I think DP will have a... Oh, here we go, the aggression.
Yeah, I'll start with the wraparound. The Hadouken is there, and S4. He's going to try and heal up with the Spirit Siphon, but the Shadow Strike poison damage ticking him down. The right clicks fly through. Is it going to be enough with the right clicks from the creeps? He's going to duke it out. It's not enough. Shadow Strike poison brings him down, and Dendy will find the first blood there in the mid lane. And as you said, great rotation from Chen securing that.
Yeah, because if the Chen doesn't interfere in this matchup with the CM Aura, Death Prophet will definitely win the lane. So the Queen of Pain needs every bit of help that he can get from the Chen. And he even got a really good creep, like the Hadouken, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Like he even had a second Hadouken ready in case the last tick of the poison didn't kill off S4 there. So really important kill for Na'Vi. And Beastmaster right now, he's gonna have a really tough time in this lane against Gyro. Like Gyro is one of the safe lane carries that can pressure the Beastmaster out of the lane very easily with the flag. And you don't want to give away the Hawk all the time because the Hawk gives a lot of experience towards the enemy team. So he has to be really careful not losing his summons in the lanes.
There's the runes. We're going to see Ake finding himself an illusion rune. Didn't quite head down towards the sounds. He might have actually walked into Dandy blinking away from the Death Prophet. Still top lane, as we can see, as you were saying,
Yeah.
Akmo just having a terrible time here. He's
Just
only
look at how
halfway
they're
through level
playing the top lane. Oh no, bottom lane. Bulldog's gonna get dove on, but he's fine. But Gyrocopter, he's like running up, he's zoning the Beastmaster, and the SB is actually taking last hits in the lane. They want to make sure that Axmo stays at level 1 as long as possible.
Yeah, it's straight up just all the aggression onto this Beastmaster. They know that it can be an issue if they do let it get out of control. And in the mid lane, 7 for 8 on Dendy at the moment, 4 for 3 on S4. So thanks to that gank, has set Dendy a little bit ahead. And we're seeing S4 having to salve up here. He's certainly struggling a little bit against the Dendy Quap. And we've seen in the past, this man, you know, despite how the teams kind of had their ups and had their downs, if he gets a good start on the Queen of Pain, he can destroy a game single-handedly.
Yeah, yes he can. But right now, at the moment, even though DP is going to struggle right now after the gank, but he's going to be able to catch up later. I feel like when the attention needs to be focused on the Doom, because you don't want the Doom to get too much. So I think at some point the Chen has to address the situation at bottom lane. If you look at Bulldog, he's getting way too much from the off lane because you have one support focusing on helping mid, and Wiz alone is not going to be able to deal with the Doom. So as you can see here, Doom is just like a king in the bottom lane. So the Chen has to come help bottom at some point. Otherwise, the Doom is just going to get way too much. S4 has a hard time, yeah, but it's a trade-off, you know.
Yeah, I mean, as we're saying, the off lanes are really the polarizing points between these two sides at this point. You've got pretty much double the XP on this Doom compared to the Beastmaster. Mid lane S4 trying to move in onto Dendy, 1v1ing. There is the backup of the Chen here, so S4, even if he does get the kill, which he won't, he's going to be in trouble. The wraparound's there. That's going to be another kill here for Dendy, thanks to the rotation of art style.
It's not worth it though, I feel, because they even rotated the Wiz in. I don't think that they actually gained too much. Like Alliance is fine because Doom is like farming so much from the bottom lane. And if you look at the Beastmaster, like you mentioned, Beastmaster is getting nothing like out of the lane. This is going to be a huge problem because Beastmaster without levels can't do anything for his team.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of kind of pressure, I guess, on the Quap to use what he's been given at this point. And top lane, charge him. They've got a full-on rocket barrage straight onto Akmo, and Akmo will get taken down. Already being punished in terms of the lane, now getting punished with his life. Bottom lane, Bulldog being body blocked up by Seneko and Tichara, but again with the Scorched Earth, he's going to be able to run it off. And Bulldog keeping himself alive and playing this lane very nicely at the moment, as we keep saying down here.
Yeah, he even has like the aura so that he can actually stay in the lane very well. So far this laning phase for Bulldog has gone really, really well. And like you mentioned, the Queen of Pain, because the Chen has allocated 2 times of the ganks to help him, so he has to be able to help out the other lanes after he gets the level advantage ahead of the Death Prophet. But you can see as well, like the way Alliance is playing, like the way they were pressuring the Beastmaster earlier has been also paying off for them. Like, even if Sven gets a little more CS than the Gyro, as you can see there, like he was like 7 ahead, but because of the way they are pressuring the Beastmaster right now, Beastmaster is having such a hard time in the laning phase, and they're actually choosing to use the Chen to help up the Beastmaster right here. So we'll see whether it pays off. It's going to be a very difficult kill though, because Beastmaster doesn't offer too much at this stage of the game to help the Chen get the kill.
Bottom lane, we've got a charge coming in from EGM from the west on the Spirit Breaker, heading straight for the IO, and I did TP back to base, so EGM's going to have to hold off on that one and look elsewhere for a bit of action. But mid lane still, regardless of the kills, the CS difference is pretty incredible. 20 for 20 against 11 for 4. S4 is really struggling against this Quap.
Yeah, but he got ganked twice, so I mean it's understandable even though it's 8 CS behind, 7 CS behind. Like I mentioned, like Death Prophet doesn't really need to snowball. Later she can easily catch up with the CM Aura, keep farming, and rely on his team, like especially the Doom, to make space for him and the Spirit Breaker as well. So I don't think they'll be too worried about that. See, right now, the Queen of Pain has her ultimate, so
yeah,
she wants...
Sonic Wave, she's going to jump straight in here onto S4. Will be a charge onto Dendy, trying to hold him off the bash as well. S4 starting to heal up with the Spirit Siphon. Sonic Wave onto 2. S4 taking down to the Shadow Strike. Trying to turn around. Dendy getting low. Dendy will be able to get himself onto the high ground. Starts to bottle up. Seneko will get taken down there by the rotation from Bulldog on the Doom. Dendy, he's got to be careful. The bash is there. EGM, but the blink is there in time. Dendy out to the side. Looks for the TP out. Will just be able to get himself away. So they do only lose the IO there. And they do manage to get Dendy out. But that was the Sonic Wave expelled, and they don't actually get any kills with it. It's a hefty cooldown.
That was really, really big for Alliance. They're not losing any hero. Artstar here going to get charged by EGM. Is he going to get lucky with the bash as OD?
Oh, they've got the cooldown. Easily they can close themselves in. The IO heal, not quite enough. They will find the kill in return onto EGMs. They make it a 1-for-1. That's going to be some more favourable action, though, that
Doom.
Loader is involved in.
They want to get the Doom into the face of the game right now. They want to try to use the first Doom on, especially the King of
And okay, he's just going to ignore the Beastmaster and look towards mid. Dendy wants to try and get the Quap, but Quap, indeed, with a blink, jumps straight over the Doom. Bulldog would just have to make the walk back over to his side of the map, unable to find the angle to get the jump.
Yeah, you can see right now the difference of the offlaners. The Beastmaster moving around doesn't provide the team much because he's so under level, whereas the Doom is starting to pressure around the map right now with the early advantage that he gets from the lane.
You don't do this, do you? I was like, come on, EGM, calm down. Calm down.
Remember the game that we casted? It was always want to fly, like
always
charging.
Want to fly. Spirit Breaker, never forget. RIP 2015. EGM's been holding him back a little bit more here.
So you see right now, because Yara has gone for a really greedy build to jungle, so he's able to actually free the lane for the Beastmaster. This is what they desperately need. They need the Beastmaster to have his level 6 so he can actually be a part of the game. Because right now, Na'Vi are basically playing 4-man. Like, the Beastmaster doesn't do anything into the game without his levels.
Well, we're going to see S4 getting caught out. Dendy jumps forward here. S4 between the two of them. There'll be a Storm Hammer to finish him off. Now EGM could be in trouble. Godstrike popped by WinteR. They'll look to chase it, and with the burst, they'll get it. Dendy on a killing spree. A second kill here for the side of Na'Vi. And just a failed attempt to go for that rune, and it cost the side of Alliance 2 of their lives.
Yeah, that was pretty big for them, getting those 2 kills right now. That Prophet is
on the same net worth as the
very,
IO.
very far behind because of all the deaths.
I mean, you talk about the potential catch-up now. Bottom lane, Bulldog moving in onto Akmo. They've got the chase down. No way that this guy gets out. Dendy looking for the... Oh, can't quite get it. Might be able to find the turnaround. He's got the help of Artstar. With the Who's Done for the central, they get it. They do control him, and they do manage to find the kill onto the Doom.
That was still okay for Alliance because Bulldog managed to force rotations over, and other lanes are going to be able to farm safely. And he got the 1-for-1 trade against the Beastmaster, and Beastmaster died before the Doom died. So Beastmaster didn't get anything at all. So that was actually really bad for the Beastmaster once again. So I'm not sure though. They need to be able to get the Beastmaster. That's the first priority. Get his level 6 so he can actually participate in the game, and get the relocate online. These are the 2 important things that Na'Vi need to do right now. And as for Alliance, it's just about farming and getting into the late game without losing too much. As long as they get into the late game without losing too much, their late game is just much superior against Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're going to need to find a way as well to just recover S4's Death Prophet.
Yep. He's just the problem right now for Alliance, whereas everyone else is pretty happy. Charge again once more, getting cancelled by EGM, realizing that he's not going to be able to do too much here. But so far, S4 still hasn't been able to get space to catch up because Na'Vi is just putting a lot of focus on making sure that the Death Prophet doesn't get a lot of farm in the lanes and constantly pressuring him by ganking him with the Chen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we've seen a few Death Prophet games where she's been let to kind of get out of control. Na'Vi's showing us how that you can deal with her.
It doesn't feel like she's going to be the problem. Like, the other heroes are the problem right now. For
yes,
for
yeah, absolutely. Because Na'Vi just put so much pressure onto the Death Prophet. And well, EGM, he's going to follow through onto this charge onto Dendy. Seneko's there. His Alliance are going to have to hold off. Dendy has got a Sonic Wave, so if a few balls do slap onto S4, he's going to get fairly low. Dendy, is he going to do anything in the jump back? He's fairly low on health, so he'll have to play it safe. And he's starting to build towards his Orchid. Okay, trying to pick up some levels in the mid lane, but Akmo's got a DD. Still hasn't got that level 6 on this Beastmaster, and that's going to be quite a crucial point if the side is still on level 4.
Bulldog went for a Midas this game because he had so much gold just now. Oh, he's actually going just for the drums build with the face boot, so he's going to be able to make space for the Death Prophet. For one moment, I thought he was saving for the Midas because he had so much gold. I thought the normal build would be getting a drums, but maybe he thought about it and felt like S4 needed space to come back into the game, so he can't afford to get a Midas.
I guess that because he himself was having a good time in the lane. So he was like, I'm doing well, but then, yeah, as a team, they probably said, we need to kind of work something out so S4 can, as you said, get a bit of momentum.
talking about creeps that might be good for the Doom this game, I think the Ice Armor, probably one of the better creeps this game for him against the Sven. Especially once the Death Prophet starts to get a lot of items, the Ice Armor on her will be a huge problem. Like, even the Gyrocopter could use the armor, so I think those are one of the few creeps that Doom could look to get this game instead of the crit. It's a very good solution against the Sven. But so far right now, I think Alliance are still really, really happy of playing passive, just trying to get more farm on all their cores, and CM is just jungling, SBs, like EGM is just mainly staying off the map, so he's like a pressure. Like you don't see the Spirit Breaker, every lane has to play really safe, and right now, we see the relocate coming online for Na'Vi, but Beastmaster still not at level 6 yet, so they are not going to be able to make any plays around the map without the Raw.
I mean, ditcher quite, yeah, he's pretty built at this point of the game, so they can certainly kind of sneak a Sven in with the relocate and look for some action.
Yeah,
Let's just smoke up from
and Alliance thinks that they are doing the stacks with the Sven because they noticed he had a Helm of Dom earlier.
Yes.
So they are trying to smoke and try to look for him, but he's not anywhere near the Ancients. They have a ward there, however, so maybe they're going to try to get the kill on
Dire's
Dandy
bottom
here.
tower is
It's not going to
under
be easy
attack.
though. He's really far back at his tower.
So you can kind of make the lead in. Dandy. Does he know? He does. Straight away blink out. It's always going to be a hard kill.
Dire's bottom
Wow, they even
tower
popped the
has
Chen
been
heal for that?
denied.
Maybe he was just healing his creeps at bottom, so I'm not sure. Yeah, probably just the creeps, but they are able to secure a tier 1 at bottom. Relocate being expanded in the mid lane. S4.
Chasing him down. They will end up bringing the IO back out of that there with a re-relocate. So they haven't quite got the control to deal with S4. He's going to be fine. I'm going to have to punish him too heavily.
No, he's still really, really far behind though. I'm actually starting to... I was like, okay, maybe they're going to make space for him to come back later, but right now he still does not have any space to farm his way back into the game. He's probably just going to rely on winning team fights though, I think, at this point, because it's very hard for the Death Prophet to come back into the game when there's not much space. So the other way of coming back into the game is to secure team fights, get towers, get Roshan kill to boost your income. Like, play as a team, so you then get picked off by the relocate and Beastmaster role. I think that's their plan right now for S4 to come back into the game, because it doesn't seem like they're going to give him some time, like some alone time to catch up in
Dire's
farm.
top tower is
I
under
guess the
attack.
one thing as well that's really good for Alliance is the fact that
Radiant's bottom
Loader's
tower is
had
under
a pretty
attack.
much flawless game at the moment. He's got himself involved in a couple of kills. He's got 100 CS at this point of the game. He's looking to try and take a tower here on the bottom lane with the help of his team. At the same time, Na'Vi pressuring the top lane, pressuring the mid lane, so they are looking for a favourable trade, getting a couple of tier 1s in trade for just the one. We might see Alliance get themselves back in time to defend, and they will. TP top, there's going to be a charge forward from EGM. A Bulldog throws out the rock onto Seneko. Seneko will get taken down by the Doom. Now S4, these are the kind of kills that he needs to find. He's got the Spirit Siphon, he'll look to chase. Doom's been dropped, no escape for ditcher. A second kill for the side of Alliance, and S4 getting himself a bit of money in the bank.
He manages to buy his blink before he died, and that was a really good choice of defense from Alliance. They chose to defend the top lane because they realized if they defend middle, the relocate will be there. So you have to play your hand into the lane the Wiz is. So that was a really good move by Alliance there. Defending, they actually didn't defend the tower, but they got got kills on the Wiz and the Sven. But Sven purchased the dagger before he died, so he didn't lose any gold. So that's good for him.
He's nearly level 11 as well here, so we're going to have that buffed up gold strength.
And you have to remember he hasn't really done his stack yet, so that's still a huge amount.
That's a huge
amount of gold that he hasn't really obtained. So that's going to be the next point of contention for Alliance. And they do as well want to secure their own stack for the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, in terms of the item builds, on the Sven, after the blink, does he have to get the BKB next, or can he afford to go for that SNY build that we're seeing a lot of Svens do?
I think this game SNY is good.
could
Like
work.
BKB, maybe later against the CM when CM has ultimate and you're worried that she can actually channel her full duration ultimate. But right now he probably will go for SNY because against Death Prophet and the Doom, you want to have more movement speed to get away from them or to chase them down. So I'm thinking maybe
Radiant's top
Armlet as
tower
well,
is under
but
attack.
because with the Wiz,
Radiant
Armlet can be a good option.
structures are
But the only
fortified.
thing that you have to worry is you toggle your Armlet on and you get Doom.
Yeah.
And then you can't turn
And
it
then
off.
you-
That is
you-
the problem. But
Inside
otherwise,
control.
it's really good synergy with the Wiz, getting the
Dire's
Armlet.
bottom tower is under attack.
So, wow, Dragon? Is he going Dragon Lance? Okay. That is I think it's a first for me to see Gyrocopters going Dragon Lance. Because I don't usually see it that often because I feel like it's not a necessary item on Gyrocopter. Like you want to hit a target in front and you get your flat cannon splash on all the targets behind. So generally you don't really need the range.
The initial range, yeah, because the flat cannon provides that. Yeah, well, Top lane. WinteR with the quick reactions does blink away, but Artstar getting caught out. There is backup. EGM does get stunned on the back lines, and he will charge himself straight across away from the side of Na'Vi. Four heroes seeing if they can chase. Blink forward from Dendi with a right click. Shadow Strike down onto EGM. Looks like he'll be the one to drop at the side of Alliance. Blink forward from WinteR. They'll get the kill on the Space Cow. The rest of Alliance do manage to get themselves out of that one.
Yep, so Loda wasn't able to go top, so they weren't able to take the fight without the carry, but nevertheless, they're still getting a lot of getting farm on Loda. And talking about the Dragon Lance again, like it's not an item that you would waste later anyway, because you're gonna use the two parts to make Butterfly and
Butterfly and PK
and SNY.
Yeah.
So it's like an item that you get now, and you get a lot of. You don't waste anything. So Doom goes for the dagger this game, so he's able to mainly initiate on. I think his job is to mainly initiate on the Wisp or the Chen to prevent the sandbag, prevent the heals and whatnot. So Blink is really important for him to have this game. Like you want the SB and the Doom to probably like one of you target the Wisp and the Chen each. Like
yes, they're both locked down.
Yeah, so they're both locked down, and your team can actually clear out the frontliners for Na'Vi, especially the Sven.
And then he's got an invis here, and he's found Loda all on his own. There's backup from WinteR, and WinteR, if he can get the blink off into the Stormhammer, this man's in a lot of trouble. Moving in with the God Strength, can Loda survive through this one? No, not with a Sonic Wave coming out from the Quap. Nice use there at the invis rune, and Loda just not expecting that, even though he was farming fairly aggressively there over on the Na'Vi side of the map. But they did have a dire ward in their jungle.
If you look at the, I was gonna say about the ward. He saw like no one there, so he felt safe. But you know, invis rune, so too bad. Like those are one of the few things that sometimes, because you have the vision, you think you're safe, and the enemy smokes and you don't see them.
That's a bit of an interesting one, isn't it? First up on the Death Prop, again the Ether Lens for S4.
I'm trying to think maybe the reasoning behind it is because he's having such a tough game that he's trying to.
So it's just farm safer?
Yeah, small items. Like it's easier for him to build an item like this because the build out is cheap instead of going for something expensive. And obviously, it's not the most efficient item on Death Prophet at this stage to go for a first item, but considering his situation, he probably feels that he's not able to build anything big yet because it's really tough for him. I mean, it does give him some sort of survivability against the nuke damage from Na'Vi, the Chen nuke, the Sven, Stormhammer, but there's still a lot of damage that comes from physical from Sven, and of course the Sonic Wave Queen of Pain from Queen of Pain that doesn't do anything to that. So we'll see how much it helps him survive in team fights.
And let's have a look. What did the Sven end up doing in the end after that blink dagger? He's got just he's picked up the sand.
Yeah,
so
SNY.
Go for the SNY first this game. So, and what we already know, we've seen Svens before. Once they get the SNY in line with the God Strength, they do a pretty sizable amount of damage there if they can get in with the punches.
Yeah, I feel like this Death Prophet is not going to be able to survive against
especially when the Quap's got an Orchid complete and is level 11.
Like the other two heroes has to carry Alliance Heart, the Doom and the Gyrocopter, because the Death Prophet right now, he sort of has been relegated into a utility position, like a position 3 hero right now. So that's not the best thing for Alliance, but Na'Vi are going to try and sneak Roshan here, and they're leaving Beastmaster on the map, so Alliance might not actually suspect this.
Yeah, I think it looks like they should get away with it with the speed, but they'll take it down with God's Strength. Already at half health. Alliance are sending 4 heroes towards the mid. The question is if they send them all the way down here, but regardless, it looks like it should be too late as Na'Vi.
Are they smoking? Do they know?
They're getting
they
close,
got a charge.
They've got it though. Dandy's managed to pick himself up the Aegis. I don't think they want to fight on that, and then Alliance, they realise they're too late. They've got to let the side of Na'Vi get away with it.
They actually had vision just now? Alright, I didn't realize they had vision. Oh, they had the creep there. Alright, the Helm of Dominator creep. That's how they got the vision, but it was already too late for them. And right now, S4 is going back to the Yules. He just needs to be able to survive in team fights. Maybe even going for a Ghost Scepter could be useful against the Sven.
Relocate mid, looking to catch out S4, punish the man who's already been punished. 3 of them jumping in on him. He's all alone. S4 getting taken down again. This time, Io going to be the one credited with the kill. Seneko bringing the team in, and Alliance could still be in for some trouble here. WinteR is around, TP out from Ake. He's going to be out of vision, so we'll be alright. He gets himself back and away.
And this Death Prophet is going to be like so useless in team fights because he dies so fast, and we see another raw at bottom on EGM.
Look at the books, look at him, quickly he disappears.
That was like not even a level 3 book, and here comes the Yara with the God Strength.
More bloodshed here on the side of Alliance. WinteR getting the Stormhammer onto board. 1-2 with the God Strength, melting through the Doom. 11-6 now for Na'Vi, and this Sven, thanks to those kills, he's got the SNY done, 1k gold as well. And 20 minutes in, a Sven with these kind of items is understandably pretty damn scary here if you're going up against it.
Oh, are they going to lose the tier 3 at this rate? 25 seconds on the Doom. They're not going to be able to defend this. And S4 is just way too weak at this stage of the game to be able to do much. And they still have Aegis on Dandy. Oh my god, this is troublesome for them.
They need some big EGM, trying to lead in. They do have Loader, but again, EGM just not feeling comfortable going the full way. There's ways for them to stop the charge nonetheless.
They have to at least wait for the Aegis to expire before they are able to actually take a fight. So this is really worrisome. What did the Gyro purchase?
Yeah, what did Gyro?
Yeah,
I
saw a recipe.
What was the recipe for it on the Gyro? Was the BKB?
Yep, he's gonna disassemble it for BKB.
Mid lane, charge onto Dendi. They do have backup. They get the silence, and this could be a big kill if they can catch him out in time. And with the CM there as well. Oh, Aegis down. Can they go for a round 2? Doesn't look like it. They're just content with popping the Aegis and leaving it at that. So that'll be the Aegis gone here for Dendi.
Yeah, but it's already going to expire, so Na'Vi is not going to be too upset about that. They're just going to wait for probably Necro 3 before they try to make another play. Like, I think Axmo is pretty close to it's actually 900 gold actually towards. Maybe if they take a tower, mid tower or top tower, it's going to help him get to that stage.
I mean, we already saw though, you know, with Eve just with the level 2, how quickly he killed the Spirit Breaker. So they've still got a lot of power with that book.
I mean, if you're looking at grouping up and fight, Navi's still really strong right now with the Beastmaster Aura and the Sven being very, very difficult to deal with. Because Alliance don't have enough farm on the Death Prophet to deal with the Sven at this stage. I think you probably might even have to expand like the Doom on the Sven all the time. Because I know I mentioned that you have to Doom either the Wisp or the Chen, but right now the Sven is a really, really big problem. Like the only way you can deal with him is just Doom him.
Yeah, and I do like the build that Dichira's going for. It's always nice to see how long a Sven can feel confident without buying the BKB, and he's holding it off. He's just picked himself up a Crystallis.
Does he need the BKB this game?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. When he's at this point, he can just walk it off, especially when he's got an IO as well, and he's got a Gem of Hand of God. This man, unlikely to die unless it really falls apart in the team fights.
Yeah, but he went for the Crystals. Yeah. I'm not sure though. I
don't like that?
I feel like it's much more like there are other items that, like Crystallis is just an offensive item. There are items
that's what we want. We want to see him one shot.
Yeah, but it might be risky because you don't have any defensive item. Like I prefer something that does help you be offensive and defensive, like AC provides you armor for the team and whatnot. The Crystallis is just like I'm confident that I will not ever get in trouble in the game in the team fights because I'm so far ahead. But if you make a mistake, you might get punished for that because your items are all out on getting kills only and not making sure you or your team stays alive. So it could work because they are so far ahead right now. He's probably just like, whatever, I just need to kill them in 1 shot or 2 shots.
S4 has now found himself heals. He is slowly climbing himself back up the board, S4. And as you said, if they can start to get a push on with the Exorcism, take a good team fight, he can close that gap.
Yep.
But
so basically,
it's a big gap still.
What needs to happen for them is they need to get the Doom on the Sven, and hopefully SB tries to disable the backline, the Wisp and the Chen, and they try to kill whoever is in front, like the Queen of Pain or the Sven first. So that should be, I think, what they are looking for. They need to get the Doom on the Sven.
Smoky wokey here from Alliance on the high ground. See if they can catch someone out between the towers. Ping's coming out from Tsuneko. I think the jig is up. They know what's going on. They're playing it safe. They're not going to be caught out here by Alliance and Alliance. Looking to just reveal and maybe just try and take a... Are they confident to try and go full on this tier 1, or do you feel they do still need to be a little bit appreciative of Na'Vi's power?
It's risky, so they're going to go for it. So let's see if they actually can take this fight.
Okay, there we go. Fortifications come out. Exorcism.
Well, Dandy is really close to his BKB. He really doesn't want to die right now before he gets his BKB. I think he's like, guys, let me get my BKB, then we fight.
They're going for a bit of the split push here at Na'Vi. They say, right, you can take a tier 1. We're going to start knocking on your tier 3 and at quite a rate as well. They'll get a lot done. Now they'll bring themselves back. Loader running in the tree line, and Alliance now with the TPs out. But Loader BKB's just in time to avoid the stun from Stormhammer. They're trying to chase, but that BKB pretty much just saved Loader's life. Dichira try and go for more. The cooldown is going to hold them back. It looks like they'll be fine. Na'Vi unable to find anything, and Loader with the quick reactions to ensure that he doesn't lose his life.
That was a good decision making from Na'Vi because Death Prophet Ultimate expanded. They tried to get something done elsewhere in the map and almost paid off really big for them. They got the tier 3 tower, I believe, at bottom lane. Yep,
yeah,
they got the tower.
So
the next time this happens again, they're going to lose Rex for Alliance, so they have to be really careful of not making the same trade anymore.
And thanks to these towers, more objectives. You've got 14k net worth on the Sven. That's pretty much a clear 3.5 above the Jar, Loader's Jar. And 10k overall in XP within the next 10 minutes if you find a good fight with it.
Yep, I agree. it's an item that will help him if you actually get a team fight that's very favorable for you. You can actually just rack them because you have so much
Jump to
damage.
Art Style. And here's Bulldog moving in as well. They've got the Nether Strike. EGM jumps out the trees, but Sneko bringing in WinteR. Gets the stun out onto EGM. Loader trying to move in, drops the cooldown out, and the Doom's been dropped as well on WinteR, but he just turns. Loader, you don't want to walk into that. WinteR slashes him down with the sword, and now he's trying to move in onto Ake. Ake holds him back.
Did he take any damage there?
He's wearing that Doom as if it's as a necklace, and he's looking like he's looking fabulous. EGM's out. He's had enough. He's seen the Sven, realised how damn scary this man is, and just a bit of a mess from Alliance there. We saw them fight around that choke point. Loader tried to go back in. He realised that Na'Vi were very crowded, felt that he could get the damage out, but he just seriously underestimated the damage from the Sven, who just one-shot, two-shot.
I mean, they got the Doom that they wanted. They got the Doom on the Sven, but it wasn't enough.
They got all the kind of tools to initiate with, but
Middle tower has
yeah,
fallen.
with the way that this Sven's built,
Dire's top
exact that
tower is
Daedalus is
under
pretty much
attack.
doing that for them, that fight. Just cutting through the
You know what
Jericho.
they need? They need Heaven's Helmet for the Sven.
Pretty much, but the question is who's going to be able to build that?
I think EGM.
Actually, yeah, Spirit Breaker, yeah.
Probably EGM. Or
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Bulldog wants to get BKB. He probably will get a Heaven's Helmet too. I don't think BKB does that much this game.
Oh, you think at this point with the money he's got, you just say, just get
Yeah,
Halberd?
you need to
Just get
get
Halberd.
like Halberd to deal with the Sven because the Sven doesn't have BKB. I'm not sure if the BKB, even if you get a BKB on the Doom, how much does it change during team fights? Because the Sven is just outputting too much damage at this stage of the game. Like it's just that is the biggest problem.
Gonna ags on Chen as well, so we've already talked about the heal coming into big plays.
Oh dear, the Golem is gonna make the Sven unkillable with the aura.
Push from inside an RV. We've already seen them take a tier 3, but now they're very much going to have the strength.
We
to
saw
go
a
to the high ground
Superman
and
Death
take the
Prophet the last game, and this game the Sven is the Superman here.
Yeah, it's still the net worth just spiraling absolutely out of control.
So how is Alliance going to be able to take this team fight? Okay, so I guess you don't have a choice. You still have to Doom the Sven in this base defense, and you probably need maybe 2 or 3 buybacks. So let's see who has buyback right now. There's Gyro, S4, and RK has buyback. So they have 3 buybacks here to defend.
Bulldog's pretty much got his as well. 70.
So they have
gold
4
away.
buybacks. Oh, he's actually going for BKB.
Okay. I'll be interested to see if he does spend out or if he just kind of keep the
but
money full
I don't think it will do too much in team fights. It's going to allow him to obviously, avoid the nukes from the Chen and the Chen creeps and whatnot. But I think the bigger picture is the Sven. Like, you need to be able to deal with the Sven. And even if you doom the Sven at this stage, we saw in the last fight, he doesn't care. He just kills everything. So I think I felt like Heaven's Helmet would have probably helped them deal with the Sven a lot more in team fights.
Alliance are just understandably playing very careful now after they've seen the strength of Na'Vi just keeping it up on the high ground. Not willing to make too many risks. We are going to see a charge from EGM leaving the base on the top. We'll see how far. Nah, yeah, as soon as he's over the stairs, he's like, nope, I'm sticking in the base with the rest of my team. They're coming out around, and Bulldog will spot out the courier. That Artstar with his newly found Black Dragons is forcing back the Doom. Now they're roaring him as well. And with the Necro units, just look at him disappear. Bulldog out of the game for 50 seconds.
Under attack.
That
So
is
much damage from
probably-
this Beastmaster and his Necro 3s.
That's probably just 2 sides of Rax.
It could be. He's got no buyback. We talked about this. And now with the Storm Hammer to S4 silenced up as well, he'll use himself up. He's got minimal HP. They're trying to fight, but the Sonic Wave flies through. Dendi on a mega kill streak. There's your buyback from the Death Prophet. But no Exorcism and no Loader almost certainly as they chase him down. Dendi blinks forward. Double kill for the Quap. And WinteR, he's got the Storm Hammer. The Spirit Siphon will finish him off. So S4 does buyback, gets a big kill. But the Black Dragons with their fireballs, the rest of the side of Na'Vi forcing S4 back up to the high ground. Loader trying to move in onto the front. He gets silenced up. He's down for 75. EGM, they're just throwing their bodies at the side of Na'Vi. And Na'Vi are taking them. Blink forward from Dendi. That's going to be the Death Prophet down. GG is called. And Na'Vi take the game against Alliance 30 minutes in, 19-20-7. And Alliance, from kind of S4's underperformance in the mid lane, or pretty much just how Na'Vi targeted him. I think we saw there how you deal with the Death Prophet.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, right, the Chen was doing so much for his team. He managed to gank the Death Prophet like 3 times in the early game. But at the same time, I felt like the Gyrocopter, his team needed to free space for him. They needed to make, like, the common rotations from Gyro. Didn't happen this game. The level 6 rotations, they didn't really help out as well. They were probably like thinking, oh, Doom is getting a lot of farm, CM is jungling, we're happy with this. And at the end of the day, I felt like probably they needed to make that rotation with the Gyro, free up some space. Yeah. They needed S4 to be able to catch up in the game, because he was just a non-factor the whole time.
Yeah, it really just felt like the Gyro, he had a good start, Loader had a good start, got really good levels, level 11 fairly early on, but yeah, just couldn't find himself involved in the fights.
I'm not sure why they decided that, oh, we're actually contented in farming, going to the late game with our cause, and that Prophet is like, oh, we're just going to sacrifice her farm. Yeah. They probably felt like maybe Doom could have done more with the early farm that he had.
Yeah, because he got a lot of space border.
Yeah, it was the trade-off, because you gank mid, West Chen, and you have a Wiz and Swan lane, you can't really stop the Doom from actually getting so much from the early game, whereas the Beastmaster got such a bad early game. But the Chen ganks towards the Dead Prophet, and because Sven was able to give one lane to the Beastmaster, that was the turning point. The Sven actually gave back to his team. He went to the jungle, he went to the Ancients, and there was a lane for the Beastmaster. But for Dead Prophet, he basically just got nothing. So that was, I think, the biggest problem that Alliance had that game.
Pretty much. And of course, Alliance, we're going to be following 2 more games of them here on the stream. So they will have 2 more chances to show us if they are back. But Game 1, the first game that we saw them, wasn't looking great. And Na'Vi themselves, I mean, this is a Na'Vi as well that have already lost 2 games at this LAN. And they kind of made Alliance absolutely crumble. But obviously, a lot of people know the story of Alliance. They're not in the best of conditions. I think they only turned up at the LAN a couple of hours ago. So they're probably feeling pretty dead. But we'll see if they're able to kind of get a bit more power later on. We're going to cut to a quick break now, and then we'll be back to the panel for more Dota 2. We'll see you guys about.
E-gaming bets. We accept